Hi, and welcome back to Choco Disaster. I'm ChorpSaway.
And I'm Jordan.
Yeah, so, as soon as he entered our lives, FutureFriend is gone once again.
Mm-hmm.
It's really unfortunate, but he was hired out by a Japanese spy team to steal all the anime from Spain, and was caught and arrested, and now he's doing life in prison in Spain, and they've shut down the Anime Ambassador program, meaning Jordan has more time to spend here with you guys, and with me. Mostly with me. I'm so lonely.
Where the people already believe in anime and they don't have to be convinced.
Right,
Unlike
exactly.
in Spain.
I can't believe it.
An anime wasteland.
But yeah, so Jordan's back. I'm back, and we're hot off the heels of E3. Once again, anime is snubbed at E3, and the only anime video game they show is the South Park one.
That's not anime. Please don't sully the good name of anime like that.
You're right, I'm sorry. That joke was too far.
Yeah, it was. Shame on you. You should be the one going to anime prison, not FutureFriend.
Oh, no! I've paid my dues to anime.
Yeah, they announced the Berserk game at
Oh
E3.
yeah, you're right. And they gave the worst possible trailer for it.
Wow, they sure did.
It had no Muso.
No.
It had no guts. It had no skeletons.
Nope.
It had no boats.
Nope.
I'm all out of things from Berserk. It didn't have hamburgers? I remember that from that picture.
Doesn't have any elves.
Right.
All it had was a lady being molested by tentacles.
No elves or high elves, but I can tell you someone was really high at E3. Ugh. E3. Anyways.
Anyway.
What we're actually here to talk about
Uh-huh.
is the next upcoming anime season, summer 2016.
Yeah.
We're getting cool for the summer over here at Choco Disaster LLC.
Isn't that what we called the episode last year?
Maybe? I'd have to go check.
Okay.
But either way, it's time for the summer season, so it's time to unfurl your beach umbrellas, plop open your chairs, and get ready to watch anime in your swim trunks.
Yeah, that sounds great. And all that, you do all that inside.
Right. I mean, don't go outside. The sun's terrible.
Yeah, agreed.
But before we talk about all that, I think it's important that we discuss some news. And there was a lot of news. I had to curate a lot of this down.
Yeah.
So, since we talked about Berserk already,
Uh-huh.
in some hot Berserk news, it is returning as of probably when this comes out. It will already have started, but it's going to be a monthly series for real this time. We swear.
I don't believe it.
So, it has been announced that Berserk is going to be released June 24th for that first month.
That's soon.
Yes, very soon. And then, apparently, it's supposed to be resumed for at least the summer?
Oh, what an achievement.
So for 3 whole months, it will be released monthly. At which point it will return to being an irregular release.
It's a Berserk miracle.
Thank God. Because they tried to do this last summer, too!
Yeah, that was the last time.
But then as soon as the anime was announced, it went on hiatus again. Is Berserk ever gonna end?
No.
Is this the Duke Nukem Forever of manga?
Well, no, it's more like the... I don't know, like the Samurai Jack of manga.
Oh, you're right. But yeah, so that's happening.
Yeah. Great.
New anime series premieres a week after that. So if you really like Berserk, happy summer.
Yep.
Because this is the
I hear you
only
call
time
that.
it's gonna matter. Other general release announcements, just things that I'd picked up. So, Amazon is really pushing, I guess because Amazon Video only recently came to Japan, from what I understand.
Uh-huh.
So this is like, so this whole thing has been like a big push to get people to like subscribe for that.
Yeah.
Because they picked up, Baby Steps, that tennis, manga. They have a live action of that coming to Amazon exclusively.
Okay.
They have a new Ultraman.
Oh.
Kamen Rider is continuing on. And, they have a couple other, like, I guess like, not rom-com, but sitcom. That's right. That's the other word.
Okay.
But sitcom coming to Amazon Prime exclusively. And they're also planning to show them outside of Japan as well.
Alright.
So everything Amazon Japan gets for its Prime service seems to also be going out into the other, 5 territories that Amazon works in.
That's nice and convenient. I like
Yeah,
that.
as well as a number of documentaries, which might be interesting depending on which ones they pick, but they just said that documentaries are going to start popping up there as well.
But Japanese documentaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I'm interested to see how that turns out because Amazon Prime in the other territories hasn't really handled anything that has to deal with subtitling or translation. So this is kind of a weird growth phase for, I think, all of Amazon.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it handles it and how that turns out as things continue on. But it's interesting to just see how big that's getting, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because this is kind of the first time where we're going to have a global company that has the rights to a show in its original territory and overseas.
Yeah, and exclusive too. These are all exclusives, so it's a weird thing, but I'm interested to see how it turns out for Amazon.
Wait, so these shows aren't going to be on TV either?
Some of them are on TV, some of them are streaming exclusive.
Wow. Is the Kamen Rider show on TV?
That I don't know. I don't know about Kamen Rider. I think Baby Steps is going to be on TV.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the Kamen Rider one.
Alright.
Kabaneri definitely aired on TV because it got delayed thanks to the earthquakes.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more shows starting to be web only. The first 2 seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal were web only.
Yeah. I cannot imagine that being... maybe, I don't remember if I said this last time, but I can't imagine that being a business venture that will give you a proper return of investment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Amazon stuff and return on investments, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress,
Yes.
aka Attack on Titan Code Geass, got an MMORPG specifically in China.
Huh.
But China is also one of the bigger Asian countries specifically to handle censorship with anything that they might consider inappropriate for children, children, violence and stuff.
Yeah.
So the anime has already been banned.
Okay. Oh, huh.
But they're getting the MMO.
And they're the only ones getting the MMO.
That seems to be the case.
Okay. Not even Korea or anything?
Yeah, maybe that'll expand later.
Okay.
But it's just weird because Attack on Titan and things of that ilk all have been banned in China, but this is the only place that they're getting the game, which is weird.
Maybe there's just no blood in it.
Maybe, I guess, depending on the contents of the game, because it's always been the blood and sort of gore of those sorts of shows that got it, and also fan service stuff.
Okay. Well, I could hazard a guess that maybe it's being developed in China and they're just releasing it there first, and then once translation is done, it might come over to Japan or something.
Yeah, I guess this might be a period sort of thing, they figure out if it's, making money or not.
Yeah.
Or they use this as we'll wait and see if there are any bugs and then fix them and then release it in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bad news.
Oh, no.
Bad news. We're gonna sandwich the bad news in so we can get over it. Super Lover's got a 2nd season.
No.
Yeah.
I had to actually think about what that was at first, because I thought you were talking about High School Love Defense Club.
No, we already know that got a 2nd season.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Super Lovers, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks a lot.
Well, but good news.
Okay.
Capcom has announced its first big anime venture with Monster Hunter Stories.
Oh, that's not. I was hoping for something a bit more interesting.
No, it's that JRPG version of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's apparently such a big deal that Fuji TV has literally dedicated an hour-long slot on weekend mornings specifically for this new anime.
Okay, so it'll have pre and post shows or something.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but they specifically dedicated this time slot, which is the first time they've done it in tens of years, to a new anime slot.
Well, Monster Hunter is a big deal, so it makes sense.
And David Pro is actually working on it for the anime studio.
Oh,
yeah, it's so they have the dude from World Trigger directing it at David Pro.
Okay.
The writer is the one from My Love Story. Okay. The one who handles the scripts.
All right.
And then we have Outlaw Star, the creator designer handling art and stuff.
So that's a super team of people that are okay.
Yeah, this is a sort of super team for this particular type of show.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I wouldn't have expected of all of the Monster Hunter things to take off to be the side RPG thing they're doing.
Well, I assume that's just because that's the easiest to make into a proper narrative, because there's not a lot in normal Monster Hunter games that you could really turn into a story.
Yeah, and I guess it's easier to market it in a way.
Maybe.
With the designs being a lot more kiddish and kind of colorful and predefined sort of characters, it's not quite as open as Monster Hunter is.
Yeah.
And maybe you wouldn't have 5 episodes of guys fighting the same monster over and over to grind for materials.
Yeah. And running around the battlefield naked.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool, but I don't know how marketable that is.
Yeah. Well, at least they'll probably look better than that Mega Man cartoon.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe if it works out for them, we'll finally get the Strider anime we deserve.
Yeah, no, we're getting that live action. I mean, that's like an anime.
Is there, what?
I thought we talked about this last time.
No, that's Shinobi. That's Sega.
You're right. I don't know the difference between those things.
Shinobi is white, Strider is purple.
That's right.
Yeah.
Strider doesn't have Strider's the one in the MVC.
Yes.
That's right.
He's the one with the really fast sword.
Mm-hmm. And he can cling to the side of the screen.
Yep. And he has the satellites.
So some other news.
Okay.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's not new.
As of the recording of this, recently we had the Let's Go Get Italian Food episode. Right?
Yeah.
This is apparently taken off in sort of a big way. First of all, specifically this episode. First of all, there's been an Italian restaurant popular in Japan that served a 3-course meal based on that episode as a special for a while.
Uh-huh.
And second, the popular corn snack food thing, Umaibo, has decided to do a crossover with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where they just shove Okuyasu's dumb eating faces onto the packaging for beef tongue flavored corn snacks.
Man, if I was...
And technically it's called Maibo, because that's the sound you make when you think something's really tasty.
If I were in charge of marketing food, I don't think I would market it using the episode of an anime where a guy cries so hard about the food he eats that his eyes dry out. And his stomach
Or where
explodes.
he eats lamb chops so good that his stomach explodes.
Yeah. But hey, I don't live in Japan. I don't know what they want from their food there.
Their food things are so weird because they also did JoJo's coffee for part 3. They did coffee for the 4 main group in Stardust Crusaders and also Dio.
Okay. But what kind of coffee did they all like? Hashtag Plata's quiz. Find out what JoJo's character and coffee you are.
As you could expect, Dio's is black like his soul.
Oh, I figured Jotaro would be black because he's so fucking boring.
Damn! I don't know what Georgia Emerald Mountain Coffee is, but that's the flavor for Jotaro
Okay.
and Joseph. But yeah, so that's that. Man, JoJo's blows up in a big way.
Yeah, it does. But why this especially?
I don't know, it's weird that the anime, like, popped up as popularity so much in Japan as well.
Yeah, because they know.
They already know.
Yeah,
they know
they know.
JoJo's.
Joe know.
You're right. It's like Bono's.
What?
Oh, what?
If you say so.
So, they're doing that, Ring vs. Grudge movie.
Oh,
in
I am
Japan.
so excited for this movie. You don't even know.
Are you, like, legitimately excited?
I am. Have you heard the premise for this movie? Have I told you about this?
I haven't, but just a sec, because I remember you saying that, that you got mad because American horror takes so much off of The Grudge.
Yeah.
But do you think The Grudge on its own is good, then?
No, I think The Grudge is not good.
Okay, so continue on why you're excited about this.
Well, the premise is basically a bunch of kids go out to an old haunted house, which is being haunted by The Grudge, and while they're there, they watch a haunted videotape, which is being haunted by Sadako. And then Sadako and the girl from The Grudge, whose name I don't remember, Kayako, they have to duke it out to see who gets to haunt these kids.
Oh, that owns!
Yeah, right?
This is like Freddy vs. Jason, but cool.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in premise.
And I hope the ring wins.
Because Freddy vs. Jason, they just decided to fight for no reason, right?
No, they fight because Freddy tricked Jason into escaping from hell by pretending to be his mother. And Jason's big mad about that.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
So, talk about that. They did that baseball thing.
What? Is this still about the Ring versus
Yes.
The Grudge? Okay.
So they did a promo thing where they had Sadako from The Ring do the first pitch
I heard about
at a
this.
baseball game, and then they had Kayako do the batting against it. And now they're even being used for promos for the Tokyo Metropolitan Police.
Great.
To try to scare people who use drugs to stop doing that because it's not illegal. Like, there are a number of psychoactive substances in Japan that aren't technically illegal but are bad.
Huh.
And the police are using this while since they don't really have the legal action to be able to stop that, to try to scare people into not doing it. So through, like, scare tactics of, like, oh, you're gonna get fucking wrecked by these people if you don't stop using drugs.
If you do these drugs, you're gonna see girls coming out of your television.
Yeah, it's like, it's a metaphor because the shadow of drugs creeps towards you, and once you fall into the well, you can't get up.
Oh, damn. Well.
It's messed up. But also, this Grudge thing, they did a Hello Kitty thing.
Uh-huh.
They, were in a horse race.
What?
This is so good. No, this whole thing is amazing. But yeah, they had the Hello Kitty people draw Hello Kitty versions of the characters, so they're all really cute.
That's great.
Yeah, it was that weird web horse riding game. They had a version of, the two characters in there.
Good.
And they also did a photo shoot where the two characters were just on, like, people with horse head masks on. This whole thing rules in a way.
I'm so glad.
They did a bunch of commercials for theater etiquette, like not using your phone and stuff. And, what's this last one here? They just they made like cup companions, those little things that are supposed to hang on your glass.
Yeah.
As you drink them.
Right.
They made those for them.
Oh, I want one of those.
This whole thing rules, and I hope the movie's good.
Me too.
At this point.
And especially because they're remaking the American Ring too, and that's probably going to be bad. So I need something related to the Ring that's going to be good.
Didn't they already have a Ring 2 in English? I thought they had a Ring sequel. But this is a different one.
This is a remake. No, apparently it's still a sequel, so it's the Ring 3, but it's called Rings.
Oh, okay.
The Ring is a beautiful little like pocket pop culture thing just because there's so much weird stuff going on with like how they made the first Japanese movie and its sequel side to side, but then the sequel was really bad, so they made a proper sequel, and then all the book sequels are nothing like the first. It's great. I love The Ring.
Oh. Moving on. So, this is a thing I didn't know about, but apparently has been going on for a number of years, which is the low-income animator dorm project, which basically, it seems like this nonprofit has rented out a, like, 6-room, like, portion of, like, an apartment.
Yeah.
Specifically to house new animators because, animation is, terrible in terms of pay.
Did you see that article that was like, anime eyes are becoming so complex?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up too.
Okay.
That anime eyes are at the point where everyone wants to draw them so specific that it takes hours to finish them.
Yeah. Now I feel bad for talking so glowingly about Haruchika.
Look, those eyes are really good.
They
though.
were, but people probably died for them.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is they're paid per frame.
Yeah.
And like $2 per.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tough to live on that. So they've opened up this like dorm basically for new animators to live.
Yeah.
And they're running an Indiegogo, I think still now. And by the time this is going, I think it'll still be going.
Okay.
But they're planning to expand by 2 more rooms in their dorm.
All right.
This whole thing has been crowdfunded previously, and it's like they're asking for $10,000 in total because each animator can be housed for like $250 a month, including utilities and everything.
Okay.
So I think that's a really neat idea. I'm really glad that that exists.
Yeah, it's
as like a way to try to open up the field more for new people. Because I think another issue as well with that is like anime hasn't fully moved on to like web-based stuff, so they can't do like tablets and stuff. It's all still like paper in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think that also hurts it. Because, like, I know One Punch Man was done entirely with a lot of new web animators, and all of it was done via tablet.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big step forward, but that still hasn't reached a point where it's, like, the common thing, so...
Wait, how is that related to what this article is about, exactly? Because
I feel like there are a lot more new animators coming into this with technological skill.
Okay.
Like their own tablets and stuff, and they can move that sort of thing faster. It's a lot faster to do things on a computer.
Right, okay.
But the way they're asked is usually via actual paper. They have to draw these things.
And then they can get the frames out faster so they can make more money.
Right.
Okay.
I think that... I can't be positive that that's true, but that seems reasonable enough in my mind that this is a thing.
Yeah.
But still, it's nice that this exists. I'm glad that there is audience is not the right word, but this is a thing.
A group of willing Samaritans.
Yeah, a group of willing Samaritans helping to move anime forward.
Yeah. Because
a number of the people who have housed in this area have gone on to do, like, big things.
Okay.
Like, there are people who went on to do, like, Psycho Pass and Cabaneri. Like, a couple of the anime this season have come out with, people who have been in this dorm. And the people who are, like, collaborating to make this nonprofit are pretty big name animators, people on, like, the Tatami Galaxy or Gatchaman crowds.
Alright.
Like, some pretty big names are putting their money in to try and help support these new animators. And I think maybe a fresh perspective with animators might help improve the medium.
That's lovely. Like, considering how, from an outsider perspective, the anime industry seems so insular a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's good that there's something like this to sort of help people get in the door.
Yeah, I think this is a opening to maybe seeing an improvement in... I mean, it's a small thing. It's very small. They can only house 8 people.
Yeah.
But if this sort of thing starts to become more popular, if this can start to produce animators on big projects that are, you know, like, show significant promise, you know, it's nice.
Maybe we can finally move anime towards a point where it's more than barely self-sustainable.
Right. Maybe it can be moderately self-sustainable.
That would be great.
I love it. And then I had this up because occasionally we like to talk business here.
Yeah, that's us.
But this one's really quick. It's just like, TV Tokyo's most profitable anime for the last fiscal year. I want you to guess the top 5.
Okay, TV Tokyo is just a channel, right?
Right.
But
they handle a lot of the big name anime. So if you want, do you want a list of those then?
No.
And we can cut it out? Okay. Just think of the most profitable series you can, and this is across video games, anime, manga.
Okay.
This is franchise stuff.
Okay, Idolmaster?
No. I don't think TV Tokyo handles those.
Okay, well, then I'm out of ideas.
Push it more towards, child-oriented.
Okay, child-oriented, Pokemon?
Yep.
All
it's right up there.
Is Hamtaro still a thing?
No, I think Hamtaro's done.
Okay.
And it's been done for a while.
That's a shame. What's another thing that's going on with the kids? Battle Vanguard?
No.
Joker?
What are the kids like these days?
Joker?
No.
Well, yeah, that probably wasn't that big.
Because that's a spin-off of, Detective Conan.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right. What's it called? Damn it. Future Car Buddy Fight?
Nope.
I don't know what kids
Damn
watch.
shame, but no.
Well, tell me then.
Number 1, in terms of just sales.
Yeah.
Got Naruto.
Oh.
Yokai Watch.
Oh, how could I forget Yokai Watch, of course.
Gintama.
Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
Pokemon.
Okay, Pokemon's on number 5.
Yeah.
That's weird.
In terms of gross profits, though, it's at number 3, and Yokai Watch takes the lead.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like, that's not a super surprising list, but it's interesting just seeing, like, oh, they made a lot. Like, I think over that last fiscal year, they made, $100 million or something.
Wow.
Like a 75% increase from last year.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
It is.
Like 14 billion yen out of all of their franchises, and these are the top ones.
It's easy to forget that Yokai Watch is, like, way popular in Japan.
Yeah, it was like a surprise hit, too, because I feel like Level 5 always tries to make big franchise things and never quite succeeds.
Remember White Knight Chronicles?
Yes.
That came out.
Remember, Inazuma 11? You know, Inazuma 11 did alright, but nothing has hit the zeitgeist quite like that.
Yeah.
Because weren't they working on, like, something called, like, Eiga and the Snackland or something?
Oh, yeah.
That like, nothing's really come out of it. Like, I think that movie got released, but I don't think I've seen anything else.
I completely forgot about that. I didn't even know that movie came out.
I think it came out last season.
Wow.
Or, yeah, it came out, I think it was, or at least it was supposed to come out in the winter.
Huh.
I don't know if it actually did. Because I remember I was going through the movies and I saw that and I was like, level 5? Did that ever happen? Because I don't even think they announced a studio for it. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
it's weird.
I'm glad Yokai Watch is raking in the big bucks, so they get to make Ni no Kuni too.
Right. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Make something good.
Yeah, that's the only reason I care, because Yokai Watch doesn't do it for me.
I think we should save that for another time on the podcast, because now...
Okay.
It's been a while. We were talking a lot. But now it's time to talk even more.
Whoa.
About the anime we're watching this season.
We're treading new ground among podcasts by talking a lot.
I can't believe it. And most podcasts are just people like reading a book and just going, oh wait, is this on? Is my mic on?
I don't know how the podcast industry stays afloat. Like
yeah, I don't get it.
It's time to step it up.
So, first up, real quick, we're going to talk about the 2 shows we're continuing into this season with.
Yeah.
Because usually we don't announce that and we forget to talk about them later.
Oh, do we?
So we're doing this to remind ourselves to talk about this.
Remind you to remind us.
Right. So first off, continue on with JoJo's.
Yeah.
Because it's still good.
It's still pretty good.
And this is getting into the better parts. The beginning of this next season is going to be the first part where Rohan pops up.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, that guy's cool.
He's
that's right. You know, they announced that they're going to be animating some of the side stories for Rohan too.
Oh, is that like the cover stuff?
Like not the it's not this particular one, but like Rohan visits the Louvre in France, like that sort of side story stuff. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
Okay.
But they're doing some of that for OVA stuff, apparently.
That's cool.
And both of us are watching that, and then I'm still watching Macross Delta because I love trash. I say that, Macross Delta is like a fine series, but it is definitely like trashier than the perception I get from other Macross.
Yeah.
But it's like a fun time that occasionally like gets a little too far into like being too goofy or too serious. But it's a charming show.
Does it ever get too, like, does it ever go too heavy on the pandering?
Not for any significant period of time. Like, it'll just be like one weird shot and then it'll move on.
Okay.
It definitely has its moments, though.
Well, it could be worse, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it likes to focus a lot more on the space battles when that happens.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But just looking at, like, I can barely see the corner of the key art because my, the list is blocking it for me right now.
Uh-huh.
And it looks, based on that, it looks like it could be Beyblade or something.
Oh, man. That makes me sad. That reminds me that Beyblade Burst never got picked up by anyone.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Maybe who do the anime nowadays, Adult Swim? Maybe they'll get it at some point.
Because, like, Crunchyroll has all the other ones. I would have expected them to pick that up.
Yeah.
Ah, well. So, let's start talking about our A tier. These are the things we're really excited for. You know what we're really excited for this season?
Getting hit.
Sports.
Yeah.
This is a pretty sports-heavy season, and, like, sports has always been, like, a big thing in anime, especially baseball.
Yeah.
But it feels like this one, with the total of, like, it's got 4 or 5 things that are related to sports or sports-like activities.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is a big season for that. But I guess summer might also be part of that, since summer is when everyone's out and they can play the sports.
But if you're going to play the sports, then why would you need to watch them? So you think that those big sports anime would be in winter, because that's when people are all sitting inside bummed out that they can't throw the ball around.
So first up is Battery. Battery, which we should say ahead of time, is a Amazon exclusive.
Oh, damn it.
Yes. It is Amazon exclusive, so sorry about that, Jordan. But that's how things go. Because it's on the block that's exclusive to Amazon Prime.
Okay. Well, I guess just like the baseball world, it's a cutthroat business out there with anime.
Yeah. So, Battery is a baseball series that it seems a lot more serious than what you see out of your average sports show.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them are kind of goofy. This one seems a lot more heavy on kind of the dramatics of high school and learning to play baseball with others.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely trying to tell more of, like, a serious story.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this one is meant for children.
This one definitely seems for an older audience.
Yeah.
Like, not to, like, say anything bad about that type of sports show, but this seems a little more nuanced, I guess.
Sure. Well, I mean, not based on just the subject matter, which sounds like Prince of Tennis, but with baseball.
It's basically just like, this pitcher's really good and he's frustrated that no one else can kind of keep up with him, so he wants to give up.
Yeah, but it's better than that.
Yeah, and he moves to sort of a backwater city where he finds someone who can handle what he does and revitalizes his energy for the sport.
Yeah.
But, like, looking at it, looks really nice.
It does,
and the anime studio handling it is, I think, just a no-name.
Yeah, I guess so. I've never heard of Zero G before. No.
No, I think they haven't done anything since before this. So this is their big opener, and it looks really good.
It looks, I was watching the preview earlier, and it's one of those weird things where it looks weird and stilted until you really look at it and realize it looks like that because every frame has heavy movement on it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work being put into these.
Yeah, like there's a lot going on every frame, and that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't know what Studio Zero G is like an offshoot of, but whatever it is, they picked like some really big people, or it looks like they picked some really top tier people to handle it. I'm really excited to see how they handle like the actual motion of a baseball game because a lot of the shots don't have any of the actual playing to it.
Well, maybe they'll do the same thing that that Haikyuu did, where it's just while the action is happening, they'll just show gears instead.
But this definitely feels like what's the other big baseball one that this reminds me of? Big Wind Up.
I've never seen that.
Or Ufuri, which kind of has a similar tone, a little bit goofier on its end as far as like art style, but it definitely gives off that same tone of like, it's supposed to be more of a dramatic story about these kids finding themselves.
Yeah.
And I think it just looks good. I'm excited for it.
You know, I'm looking now, and it looks like these guys have actually done a lot before. Like, they've been around for a long time. We're talking, like, well, not super long, but we're talking Pokemon movies long.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
They worked on Pokemon movies, they worked on MD Geist. Never as, like, the main company, it seems, but always, like,
Right.
doing in-between animation, production, design.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's be interesting to see, then,
Yeah.
what they do now that they're at a head.
It really does look like this might be their first big project ever.
Alright, cool. On the completely other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Days.
Days.
Days looks a lot goofier
It is,
than what we just talked about. And it's like, in a charming way, like, the action is still there, because they show a lot of soccer in that PV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely a lot of action to it, but also, like, they all have that goofy anime hair to them. Like, the whole thing, and all of the, like, style looks much like your Ice Shield 21s or something more of that ilk, where
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be, personality driven in, like, the, not slapstick, but kind of humor sort of way.
Yeah, and I was going to bring this up, but even the description on Live Chart mentions that the main character is like just kind of an underdog with a lot of passion, and you know.
I mean, that's your prototypical sort of sports story.
Yeah, God, I hate looking at the sport anime.
Wait, what?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, right.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh, yeah. So it seems like it'll be fun. It gave me the same vibe that Inazuma 11 did before they announced that was just like bullshit magic soccer.
Yeah.
Like just these like weird kind of goofy characters all hanging out and they just love to play soccer.
Yeah, it's got much more of a like wide variety of like not over the top but exaggerated characters.
Personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be interesting to see.
Yep.
And our last big sports one that we're excited for is Cheerdanchi.
Yeah.
And Cheerdanchi, when it first came out, a little wavery on my end, especially because this is the sort of thing that could easily be like a really bad comedy thing of, dudes do cheer.
What? Boys aren't allowed to do that.
And that's one of those things that like immediately was like, But looking at the preview and everything, it looks good.
It does.
It definitely feels like, because I was also worried it would be kind of like, it would almost like treat the cheer as like a side thing and just be kind of like the daily lives of high school boys, but also there's cheer sometimes. But it seems like it falls more under the like, I'm trying to think of another show that has the same sort of balance that I'm trying to describe. I guess like sort of Sound Euphonium or like Love Live, I guess, where it is a major part of why the characters interact and it's still a big thing that drives them.
Yeah.
It's not a background element.
I mean, I wouldn't mind either way. But
I guess I would be less interested if it went that way.
okay.
But also I appreciate that this is a show that is about cheer and treats it seriously. And also is willing to like, they totally just have a fat character.
They do.
And like, I guess part of that point is like, you don't have to be, thin to be good at cheer. You just have to be able to do the athletics because that's a big thing in, like, you just have to be kind of strong. You don't have to be thin or svelte to be able to do these sorts of movements.
Right.
And if the cheer looks anything like it does in the preview, it's like, it seems very rotoscoped, very much like based on people actually doing these moves, so it's going to be more natural.
It does look very good. The preview was very convincing visually.
Yeah, I was worried about it again, like, as I made this list, but as I rewatched the previews, like, this has a lot of potential. And I think the only real worry is that this is, of all the sports anime, the most that could go the route of, like, a cute High Earth Defense Club love.
Maybe? I don't know about that.
Of all the three, I think it has the most potential to turn into sort of like, or I guess more of a Prince of Stride sort of thing.
It could definitely turn into Prince of Stride,
because I think that's what we were talking about before, is like, that of all of them I think has the most potential to sort of like eschew its good elements for, like, bad gags.
Yeah, but I think even, like, as far as, like, as bad as this concept could have possibly been, turning into a Prince of Stride, like that being the worst it could possibly be, is still pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but it could be the most disappointing in that
bad
way.
Yeah, sure.
And also, boy howdy, does one of those kids just have the worst fashion sense, and is he a disaster?
You show me that picture of the guy wearing socks and sandals and, like, in cargo shorts.
It's socks and sandals, it's striped cargo shorts, and this disgusting, like, lime green shirt with a squirrel on it.
Please don't fashion shame him. He's already having a hard enough time.
I'm going to fashion shame the heck out of him. But that's, like, his character trait, is that he's just, like, really shitty at that. Which, I mean,
what a great
depending on how you play that, that's a funny gimmick, or that's, like, an unfunny thing that pops up, not, you know, and I'll probably take it either way.
Well, I like the idea of anime's trait of characters constantly popping up in different outfits being applied to bad outfits for a change.
Yeah, and you know what? Hopefully he has more than just that one outfit. I really hope
he wears Crocs
on his hands.
Yeah. On his
no,
head.
but okay, so that's Cheerdanshi. That's our sports block for now.
Yeah.
And then the final show that both of us are watching from this tier,
break through that blockade,
is 91 Days.
Yeah.
91 Days is, we're both putting our weight behind this original anime project this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
It is, it's a mafia story set during the Prohibition era in America. And I think the way that could be handled can go in a lot of directions. And I think we've only gotten like a 15-second preview of it, but it seems to have a very distinct style to it that benefits that sort of setup.
You know, I want to, like, last season, the original anime that we both put our weight behind, or I did at least,
you put your weight behind more, but yeah, the original anime of that season
was Mayoiga, The Lost Village, which ended up being a complete disaster.
We'll talk about that later, but yes. I mean, later as in another podcast.
But I mean, we've already talked about that. It's bad, and it doesn't get better. Spoilers.
Right.
But I think just based on the short PV they had for this, it already looks... I can get more of a complete impression of the show based on this than I could out of the two Mayoiga PVs they put out.
Yeah, because there's a very distinct tone.
Yeah.
To how it handles 91 Days. And it just...
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a revenge story a la, you know, any sort of like mafia thriller.
Yeah. So what I want to know is the director or the writer or is anyone really important on this in-house, or did they bring in outside people?
Give me a second.
Okay. So
the director of 91 Days has worked on projects like Kimi no Toroke.
Okay.
Welcome to the NHK. Hozuki no Reitatsu. So there's a decent, like, track record there. And the person handling the series composition handled the adaptations of, Erased, of, Haikyuu, all of Haikyuu, Joker Game, Maji, like, they have some experience behind them. The studio basically has only done, Durarara.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah.
But not original Durarara, only
X2.
Second season Durarara.
Yeah. Well, I hear that one's better.
And for some reason, they're also handling the newest Natsume Yujensho series, which I think means they're an offshoot of Brainspace.
Oh, well.
Because I think Brainsbase handled both of those originally for the rest of that run.
I mean, hey, that's pretty... There's worse things to be an offshoot of.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
That is surprising.
So there's that. Excited for that.
I hope it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Hashtag support original anime.
Yeah, support original anime, and hopefully this one.
Yeah.
Hopefully support this one.
Don't support it if it's bad, though. It's okay. If it's bad, you can just not watch it.
Yeah. These next two on the very interested list are just me.
Okay.
And you had them lower on the list. But I am interested in Mob Psycho 100.
Yes.
Because it is by one popular author of popular series One Punch Man.
Yep.
And I don't know basically anything about Mob Psycho 100.
Okay.
Besides that. It's about a dude who has some kind of magic powers and talks to a weird, like, poopy-looking ghost. But I think that's just the style in which he draws.
Yeah.
Because Bones is going very accurate to one style for their adaptation.
Yeah, because Mob Psycho 100 isn't like One Punch Man, which at one point like started getting redrawn by a better artist. It's just the original webcomic by One.
But One has gotten better at drawing since his original One Punch Man stuff.
Sure.
He's not good, mind you, or he's not like what we can traditionally call good, but he has gotten better.
Yeah, he knows how to compose a shot. And that's the
he knows how to compose
part.
A shot, and the characters are distinct, which I think is a real issue beforehand. Like, if you look back at One Punch Man, like, you can't tell those characters are supposed to be who they are.
No, yeah, that's true.
And this one, at least, like, the characters look distinct enough that even in black and white, you could probably tell the difference, at least by how their hair is designed.
Yeah.
And the fact that one of them is a weird poopy green ghost. But yeah, I really don't know anything about it, so I'm excited to see what else he's done, because from what I understand, Mob Psycho 100 is at least still good.
Yeah.
Even if it's not maybe as good as One Punch Man, like, the dude isn't a one-trick pony.
No.
I'm excited to see how that turns out.
I've seen a lot of people say good things about Mob Psycho 100, as in better than One Punch Man. But I've read it, and I didn't like it very much, so that's why I decided to just not watch it, unless I hear really good things about this too. But then I read really good things about the comic too, and I didn't like that either, so who knows, maybe I just won't watch it at all.
Though, here's the thing, though, is are they are they comparing it to the One Punch Man everyone knows, or the One Punch Man that came out from him?
It was to the manga, I think. Maybe to the redrawn one, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, because, like, I feel like there's a certain comparison you expect there in terms of quality that maybe is being lost, and maybe those people are specifically reading One's version of One Punch Man.
Maybe.
But I'm still excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
Because, like, the PV looked good, because Bones does good work.
They do good stuff, yeah.
I like them.
As being able to make something good out of one's artwork is commendable, I think.
Exactly. It's not like the iShield 21 guy who makes makes a manga look like an anime storyboard, but,
yeah.
That's how it goes. And so the last one on this list that I'm looking into and excited for is Sweetness and Lightning, or Ama Ama to Inazuma.
Yeah.
Which, it just seems to be the story of a single father who wants to help raise his daughter and teach her how to cook.
Yep.
But he's also bad at cooking. So he's a teacher, and so he asks one of his students to help come to his house and just cook, and it's like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be weird or have romance elements to it. It's just going to be mostly about this, this single father family trying to figure out how to, take care of his child and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's, that it feels like it's going to be one of those big feel-good hits.
Yeah. I thought...
But you said you weren't going to watch it.
I was considering it at first, but I've already got a lot of shows, and
That's fair.
So I think this one, it comes just shy of capturing my interest enough for me to add it to the list. And also, the art style puts me off a little. The way the daughter is drawn, especially. But...
I mean, guess just because it's very cutesy?
Yeah, it's overly cutesy. It looks like a weird... swap out the hair and give her a different skin color, and she could be a mascot character in a different show.
I can sort of see that. It seems very goofy, a la like the little girl from Barakamon.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot worse. It's the hair. I think the hair is too bouncy and round.
I like that hair though.
It's not bad hair. I don't know. There's just something about it, and I think the other two characters too. They look just kind of like just a little off from like a normal anime face, and that makes them look strange to me.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
But I hope it's good.
I hope so too. Looks like it could be fun.
The lady's eating a sandwich in the preview
That's
picture?
a big sandwich.
Oh, that is a big sandwich. It looks good though.
Yeah, it does.
I love a sandwich. So, quick aside. What's your favorite type of sando?
I like to keep things simple. I'm not the kind of person who enjoys a meal that's like a cornucopia of things.
Okay.
So I would like myself just a good old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly sando.
Okay.
That's good, man.
Alright, I can dig that.
What about you?
I like a patty melt.
Good stuff.
I know you're a veggie man, so that doesn't come across the same way. But the thing about it is the way that they do like the bread. Is they do it sort of like you would for like a grilled cheese, where you put butter on both sides and kind of grill it.
Right.
And that's the shit that I'm way into.
That sounds good. Like even though I'm a vegetarian, I can still appreciate that.
Yeah. That specific part of it, not the meats part.
Yeah. I like some good toasty buns.
Yeah.
And you know what other food I'm way into?
Well, tell me as soon as we announce that we're going into the sorta interested, our B tier list.
Yes.
What food are you into?
Well, not oranges, actually. I only like them juiced, but either way, this next anime is called Orange.
Yeah. And we're both watching this.
Yes.
Orange is weird.
Orange is weird. It looks weird. The anime, not so much, but the manga looks weird.
The anime looks fine. It looks well done.
It does.
When I say it looks weird, I mean the premise versus the PV.
Yeah.
Because it promises a sci-fi story. Basically, this girl receives a letter from herself 11 years in the future.
Yeah.
Which basically says, you need to keep an eye on this new transfer student coming into your school. And that's all that's left as a warning.
Yeah.
So, clearly there's something up with him. Either he's going to be like a savior that they need, or he's going to be the cataclysm that causes whatever horrible thing happens in the future. But the entire PV is very slice of life, doesn't play into any of the like sci-fi elements.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is like a super low sort of sci-fi story where basically the only sci-fi part is she got a letter from the future, or how deep this sort of thing goes.
I've only read a little bit of the manga, and it seems like there's other stuff in there, but none of
like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, but none of it goes more. Or I guess none of it gets less, I guess, sort of floaty, and none of it gets more hard sci-fi than getting a letter from the future. It's all pretty light stuff, I think. But maybe it gets more sci-fi-y later on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, though. I think it has a potential to it. And I've heard a lot of people say good things about the manga.
I've heard a lot of positive impressions about the manga, too.
So I don't know what to think based on all the stuff they've given us so far. I'm excited to see what it does.
Yeah, I really want to see. It looks really nice, and I think that's the most important part to me. And the premise is cool, too. Yeah,
but it definitely does look nice.
Yeah, and that's a good combination of things to have, even though that does still mean that it could be bad.
Yeah,
Let's hope not.
Even the nicest looking thing can be garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen half of Madhouse's output?
Whoa. Come on, man.
Look,
like
they did High School of the Dead. Yeah, that sort of thing. But, like, speaking of things that look good but might be bad. Amanchu.
What's this again? Hold on.
Amanchu's the scuba diving one.
Oh, yeah.
Amanchu does not look as nice as something like Orange, if we're just doing that kind of comparison.
Yeah.
That the particular author of this story is very into, like, kind of gross cheapies as a comedy element.
Yeah,
and you see a lot of that pop up in the PV.
Yeah.
Like these weird Muppety sort of like animation stuff.
Yeah, and the faces in general look but something look
Not
like...
bad?
No, but they look like the middle step, and when someone, like, draws anime faces more and more exaggerated, to the point of being
like
comical.
the eyes in particular.
Yeah, they look a little strange.
But it looks like another kind of fun, lighthearted sort of series.
Yeah.
That's just about a club of people who want to learn how to scuba dive.
And I mean, that's a subject that rarely gets touched in anime, and I would never go scuba diving because I'm way too scared of the ocean to do that. But it's a good subject, I think.
I think, as far as it is, like, that is a subject that hasn't been breached before, and there are things to be done with it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it'll probably be a lot... It looks like it does a good blend as well of, like, school antics and actually scuba diving.
Yeah, scuba antics.
Even if they're just scuba diving in the school pool to get used to it. Like, there's a tone to it that I think is captured well from the previews and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, it definitely looks like it's got its goofy elements to it. Like, some of them have, like, scuba diving gear that makes them look like a monkey or a kappa or things like that. But it also feels like it has a very charming, like, sweetness to it.
Yeah. I wonder actually how, like, overwhelming the comedy is going to be, because I haven't actually taken a look at the manga or anything. And I wonder if that's going to be, like, if it's mostly a comedy, or if it's just, like, there are jokes that are all just happen to be really goofy.
I think it's probably that.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly from the writer of the original, like, they've done this sort of thing before, too, where it's definitely, like, dramatic, sort of, like, cutesy slice of life, and also they have kind of a goofy sense of humor to them.
Yeah. You know what else
Not
did
that the humor is the late... What?
Of all things, the Code Geass manga, Geass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took out the mechs, which is a good change, and then they put in, like, a lot of weird, silly chibi gags.
That's weird.
And you know what? It's better for it. Read the Code Geass manga. It's pretty good.
But yeah, it seems like this one, I think, is going to focus a lot more on not that type of comedy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's definitely like a make or break sort of thing. Like, that sort of comedy is going to decide whether or not this show is good.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that can get overwhelming. Like, what's it called? Yuri?
Yuri?
Yeah, that's the kind of show that goes for that kind of comedy, like, all the time. And that's fine, but that makes it a hard watch for me.
That's not the thing for, I think, either of us.
No.
So, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm hesitantly excited for it, though.
Yeah.
Alright. And then next up, I think, is all just shows one of us is watching.
Yes.
Alright, so first up on this list, Honda-kun.
Honda-kun.
Honda-kun is a prequel to Barakamon.
Yeah.
Done by the same author, so it's not like a weird case of, like, someone taking it up.
It's not like a weird Boruto situation.
Yeah. Man, Boruto's bad.
Oh,
but
is
yeah,
it?
It's oh my god, the art is so bad. You can tell it's by people who just do cleanup.
But it's like, because Naruto has never had great art either.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's worse.
Damn.
But Honda-kun by the same author, and it is about the main character, say Honda, before he became a calligrapher as like an artist.
Yeah.
It's him in like high school, and the main concept is that everyone is like in awe of him.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a little intimidated by him because he's such like his calligraphy is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees that through his eyes as people just like hating him.
Yeah.
And that's the entire like setup for this show.
All right.
Which, I mean, is sort of like a subversion of what Barakamon was, because he was so full of himself in that.
Yeah.
And here we see sort of him getting that, like, ego to him. Which could be interesting, and I think the Barakamon author in general, like, if the anime is, if the anime of Barakamon was, like, representative of that style, I think they have a good blend of how to do comedy and also handle sort of, like, genuine character moments.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the original show did, too. Or series.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, and I feel like if this is just more of basically Barakamon in a different setting,
yeah,
like the same sort of style of writing, I'm excited for it.
Okay.
But I can't tell because it's such a distinctive setting from what Barakamon was.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I really liked Barakamon when I watched it, but I don't know if I need any more of that. I think I got my fill.
Yeah, I guess that's also a thing to think of, because, like, I don't remember if it was you I was talking to or not, but, like, Erased is getting a sequel manga.
Yep.
Like, an epilogue, and is that really necessary?
No. That's
like, what could you
opposite.
do with an epilogue to that story?
Yeah. It doesn't need that.
And so I guess this is sort of is this something that's going to come off as like, oh, this was my biggest thing, and I need something else to go along with it? Or is this going to be like, I had a genuine idea for something new with this character?
That it definitely doesn't come across as the latter. And I think it still could be fine, because, you know, it's made by a good author, and it's it's an okay core idea for a story. But
yeah, and I mean, like, we don't know too much about it besides that. It's like based on a 4 coma, which has had its ups and downs before.
Yeah.
Like, Nozaki-kun handled that really well.
Yeah.
And a number of others just haven't.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very specific type of setup gag humor that might not translate well, but I'm giving it a shot.
Well, Nozaki-kun had a lot of gags that extended over multiple pages too. I don't know if Hana-kun has that.
It's true. So we don't know, but
yeah.
I'm willing to bite the bullet on that one.
All right.
Next up.
Speaking of bullets, it's D. Gray
Are there
Man.
bullets?
Yeah, all the Akuma have guns, remember?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
But I thought they shot like magic.
Well, it's same difference.
Energy bullets.
Energy bullets.
So D. Gray Man Hallow.
D. Gray Man Hallow. D. Gray Man's back, and they're gonna do some more of it, because they've done D. Gray Man before. The same company, TMS.
It has been almost I think to the season, it has been 10 years since the original D. Gray Man aired. Or started airing.
Wow. And it's, I used to like D. Gray Man a lot. I don't like it as much anymore, but there's still some of that appreciation.
Like going back to it, or like what it's done since that anime?
Going back to, both, actually, I think. What I've read isn't as good, and I think D. Gray Man definitely lost its edge at a certain point.
Okay.
And I think that, but it's still alright, I think, as far as...
And I think one thing is, it looks a lot better than the original did, because it's been 10 years since then.
Yeah, and also because this time they're only doing 12 episodes instead of it being an ongoing show.
Or like 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, because the manga proper went on like hiatus for a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, for like 4 years, I think. Maybe
and now it's
5.
a quarterly thing.
Now it's quarterly because the author had like an injury and couldn't draw very much anymore, and I guess she still can't, and that's why it has to be on such a slow schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, I think if this, I don't know how it's going to be handled, because it's just weird seeing that like a big shonen thing only gets 13 episodes.
I mean, D. Gray Man isn't that big anymore. There was a while where it had a lot of hype behind it, and I think it carried that hype for a decent amount of time. But even before...
For the 2 years it aired?
No, but even when the manga was around, I think even before it started going on hiatus, that hype started dying down. But there is still there is still a sense of that. Maybe that's just nostalgia, or maybe it really is that people genuinely think that this show is worthwhile, that the series is worthwhile, because otherwise it wouldn't be coming back with a new season 10 years later.
Yeah, and I know that it is. I think the second most anticipated anime on the Japanese side.
Wow, is that right?
For the season.
Huh.
And that's with both male and female votes being put in. I think it is the second most anticipated anime for this season.
That's surprising, but hey.
So there's still some audience out there, and maybe what they'll do is they'll just do 13 episode blocks as like enough content is made.
Yeah, that makes sense, because they are going to start catching up to the manga fairly quickly at any rate.
Yeah, and I guess, in a way, maybe that's the best way to handle it, so they don't have the issue of your typical shonen filler.
Yeah, definitely, because even the original series had some filler, even though I don't think it ever needed to. It had like a whole season, like I think about 10 episodes, 12 episodes of filler.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch through it, and like, first of all, it's hard because half of it just doesn't exist online legally.
Yeah.
Funimation only has the first 50 episodes.
Like exactly half.
But you don't, but you can definitely see that there's a lot of, like, filler episodes that they pop in there.
Yeah, there's tiny filler sections, but there's also a block of filler at one point.
Okay. But, like, with Dear and Hallow, maybe it's just better that they just do it in a block as, like, we have enough content, let's do this block. And if it's popular enough, they keep doing that.
Yeah, like Haikyuu.
Because Haikyuu does that. I feel like Natsume Yujincho has done that, and that's been, like, a big thing that's just popped up every couple years or so with a new season.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are shows that benefit from that, because it's much preferable to the, like, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach sort of angle where they have to just shove, like, tens of episodes of filler in because they just run out of stuff.
Or just destroy the pace like they're doing with One Piece now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, One Piece is destroyed for a lot of reasons, but, like, they have to do the manga at the same time as the anime. Like, they're literally being written side by side.
Yeah. And that's bad. And D. Gray Man's good, so... I hope it stays good.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah, if they were doing another ongoing series, I probably wouldn't be watching this. But 12 episodes of D. Gray Man, I could muster the strength for that.
And maybe this will revitalize an interest in it.
Probably not. But
maybe,
we'll
or maybe it'll, like, keep your interest enough that if they did another one, you go, okay.
Maybe seeing it all in motion will bring it home.
Yeah, because, like, the PV's nice, but there's not a ton of, like, motion to it.
Oh, I just meant, like, going.
It's hard to tell what's going to be happening with it. Also, I don't get half of what's going on.
Well, you will eventually, don't worry.
A lot has changed in between. Where am I? I just finished Ari Stark Rory's arc.
Yeah. It's, Alan gets a sword and an earring.
Yeah, I saw that sword, and his hair's different.
Yeah, he's
got, like, a cape.
He's got a cape. He gets a different jacket.
This blonde guy's here.
He's there. A lot happens.
Do you think they're gonna finally just make his name Aleister Crowley? Do you think they're gonna fix that?
No, I just think that's not a thing they do. I think it's just Aleister Crowley. That's the official.
They just keep that?
Yeah, because otherwise they might get in trouble with the Crowley estate. Mark.
What about Tiki Mike, though?
Oh, yeah. Tiki Mike.
Are they gonna keep his name all weird?
Yeah, probably, because that's part of his style. That's the essence.
It's part of his canon.
That's the essence of Taiki Mick.
Next up on my list, we're gonna do a chunk of things that only I'm watching.
Yeah,
because I ordered these really well. Rewrite. I'll be pretty quick about this. Rewrite is one of the few key visual novels that did not get an English translation in any form, fan or otherwise.
Okay. So, like Clanad.
And, like Clanad got a fan translation and eventually got an official one.
But it didn't for a long time.
Yeah, so Rewrite has just never seen a translation at all.
Okay.
So this is my exposure to this story. And he has a very specific sort of writing to it that I find at least charming.
Okay.
So I want to give this story a shot, even though it's not by the author I'm more familiar with. Who I think in a lot of ways has moved on to doing anime writing because he's done Angel Beats and Charlotte now.
Okay, yeah.
But seeing this animated, it's also like, they took in a lot of criticism of the visual novel where, like, certain characters didn't get enough, stuff to them, or the main character was too bland, and they're trying to fix that for the anime.
That's good.
So maybe this is the best way to experience it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think with Clanad as well, a lot of people say because the visual novel's so long and there are so many character arcs, the anime might be the best way to watch it because it is able to condense that and get rid of a lot of the fluff on the, as far as the visual novel stuff goes. So I'm interested in that. Okay. That's going to be interesting to look at.
But isn't this the show where a 26-year-old lady gets put into a 15-year-old body and then dates a 15-year-old
No,
boy?
We're getting to that later.
Okay.
This is a different thing.
That's what it read like to me.
I'm going to spoil it. You're thinking of Real Life.
You know what? You might be right.
That's a different thing. Real Life is the thing you're thinking of.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll get to that later.
All right.
Next up is Fukijin no Mononokean, which is it's a school slice of life story, but the difference is this guy is being haunted by a yokai, and basically he goes to visit the equivalent of like an occult club, where someone who handles these yokai is. And he's kind of an asshole, but he's still willing to, like, you know, hang out with this dude and try to help him with his yokai troubles, because suddenly yokai just, like, appear to him constantly.
That's a bother.
Yeah, and so it's basically just, like, the guy, the club leader is, like, trying to help these Mononokes, these, like, spirits pass on to the next world. And so him and this unlucky dude just kind of go around and kind of deal with their problems, which... That's a fine enough, like, story, I guess, or, like, plot angle.
Yeah.
For me to be interested in how it handles it. It's weird because it's obvious that all of the Mononokes are done in 3D, but they are stylized to a degree where it would be hard to tell until they're in motion.
Yeah, for watching the PV, for some of them I actually didn't even notice.
Yeah, like, some of it is hard to tell, and some of them it's like, it's only obvious because they move in a way that isn't traditional.
Yeah.
But I like that concept, like, I keep bringing it up, but, like, Natsume Yujincho is a really good, similar sort of setup for that.
Yeah.
And while this one feels a lot more comedic, and is definitely going to be playing with a lot kind of, like, goofier elements to it, and a lot more of the supernatural, I want to try it out. I hear that the manga is very funny, which, I mean, that's always good to hear going into an adaptation.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Okay. I looked at this.
You said you looked at it, and I think at one point you were like, oh, that looks interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it at one point, but then more shows started getting announced that looked better to me.
There are so many shows.
There's so many shows this season. I was compiling this list earlier, and I was getting tired just typing out names.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot, but only because, like last season, I had a huge B list that I decided to watch through.
Uh-huh.
And was pleasantly surprised by a lot of the shows that I wouldn't have watched otherwise.
Good.
Because I had dropped other things.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of biting that bullet early this time and just saying I'm going to watch like 14 things. With the expectation that some of these things will eventually just be dropped.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope.
And so I assume that you have your own, like, B list of things, like, if they drop, you might look into something else.
Yeah, I do. And this was one of them, but I'm not so sure anymore after watching the preview, because about half of it was, like, loud screaming as comedy, which is just like an...
But I feel like you can pick out the wrong things to show in a preview.
Yeah, sure. But that was a lot...
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get why that might not be something to look into.
Yeah, and I was already not super into it, so like after seeing that, I'm like, all right, I'll wait to see what other people have to say about it.
So next up on my list of things I'm gonna watch, Love Live Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Love Live, the original one, was disappointing in a number of ways, but mostly via forced drama.
Okay.
Which is like a big problem with these sorts of shows.
Yeah.
And this show could easily just be the exact same thing.
But they're at the beach.
And that's like... Yeah, but they're at a, you know, like an oceanside city, so there's also more chances for that to play into it. Which probably means there's going to be even more beach episodes. But
should have called it Love Live Eternal Summer.
Damn, you're right, though. And then they had the crossover.
Oh.
But, I mean...
That would be weird because they're roughly the same age, but the Love Live characters are all like way more stylistically drawn, so they would be all short, and that would be weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But it very much reads like they just like rebooted the same plot with new characters. So in the original, it's like the school's shutting down, so they need to start an idol club, basically. Yeah. This one reads like more or less the exact same thing. One of the characters learns about the group from the original Love Live anime.
Oh.
And decide to start an idol group in order to stop the school from closing down.
Why are so many schools closing down?
Like, note for note, it is the exact same. It looks like the characters all have... What? Nah, you got it. Nah. Yeah, my buddy. Oh, good. Oh, anime of the season. But, no, it feels like a lot of the characters play similar roles.
Who's the Nico?
Her name's Ruby, and she talks in, like, a baby voice.
I was gonna hope that you were gonna say there's no Nico.
No, there's always a Nico.
Damn
Nico
it.
is like a... Nico, unfortunately, pulls in a lot of fans. And you know what? If you like Nico, I'm not going to judge you. I just don't think Nico is a good character.
Oh, okay. Other people don't get judged if they like Nico, but if I pick Maki on the Love Live phone game, I'm suddenly in bad taste.
Look, I told you
number
picked
one.
the 7th best idol. Maki's alright. I don't actually
might
judge
pretend to have an affable attitude when he's on the mic, but let me tell you, behind the screen, he is an anime tyrant.
you. Yeah, that's what I am. I don't care who you choose, Jordan. I'm pretty sure I chose Maki the first time, too. I was young and impressionable.
Uh-huh.
No, but it's like, I honestly, like, in a lot of things like this, I just don't care.
Okay.
And I'm scared that Ruby is going to be even more of like a pandering sort of thing though, because of the weird baby speak thing that she does. But the other characters, I feel like, have, I guess, more personality to them than maybe the originals did.
Okay.
So hopefully that's true and this can be good.
When you say that, do you mean they are more sort of, not outgoing is the sense, but more overt, or do you mean they have more rounded personalities?
They definitely, at least more overt.
Okay.
This project has existed for a year and we basically know nothing about the characters.
Great.
And they just announced this anime. But like, I want to give it a shot. I hope it's good.
Alright.
Even if the first one burned me pretty hard.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get burnt if you're in the sunshine for too long anyway.
Yeah, it's true. I have very sensitive skin.
Yeah, me too. That's why we stay inside and watch anime.
Yeah, when I get sunburned, I get real berserk.
I was gonna try to stop you, but it was too late. Okay, so y'all probably know what Berserk is. It's one of the original big seinen manga. It's like a huge inspiration. It pretty much kicked off what seinen means, or at least action seinen series in the modern era. It's hugely influential. It looks fantastic, or it has for the longest time at least.
There's a guy named Guts with a big sword.
Yeah.
The guy really likes Idolmaster.
It's influential, it's important, it's good. It's good, and it's a big deal, which it makes it weird.
Its biggest problem is that it is constantly on hiatus.
Yes, which is a shame, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a good show, which makes it so sad to see that it keeps getting relegated to 3D garbage.
Because the movies are all like this too, right?
They're not. The movies have less 3D than it looks like this show has, because this show looks like it's probably about 95% CG, and then occasionally like a 2D face or a 2D still image.
Okay.
And the movies are, I'd say, maybe like 40% CG. There's a lot of it in that too, but less of it. And maybe that's worse, actually, because then every time it happens, it's like, oh, we're back to the CG, and now CG is the standard. So in that sense, maybe
this CG's really bad.
It looks awful. I don't know.
It's like a lot of people talk about how CG looks weird because they cut it to 24 frames per second, like anime is.
Yeah.
Berserk looks like it's at like 12.
Yeah, it looks at a really low frame rate.
Nothing looks smooth.
And they do all these weird techniques to make it look more like anime, which works sometimes for some shots, but for the most part, it just makes it look like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
I would say worse than that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure, because the animation isn't as good, which is sad if you think about it.
Yeah.
But Berserk is just so, it's so good that I want this to succeed, even though also this is gonna focus on the first story arc, which is bad. The first arc of Berserk is very bad, in that basically what happens is this
Black Swordsman thing?
Yes.
Okay. Because this hasn't been animated before, right? They always animate the Golden Age or whatever?
Yeah, the series was the Golden Age, and the movies were the Golden Age as well.
Okay, but this is at least technically new ground.
Yeah, because the way the show goes is there's the first two arcs, then there's the Golden Age, which takes place before that, and then it continues roughly where those first two arcs left off. And those first two arcs are like the most edgy, grimdark, impossible to take serious garbage you could ever imagine. And then the rest of the series is trying to justify how they got there. which is an interesting little story thing. And I don't know if that was what he intended from the start, but that's what it turned into, and it's great. But yeah, that first arc is rough, and thinking about how they're gonna do that and also have it be bad animation, I can't wait, and that's why I put it on the watch list.
The shading on it looks really nice. I think the kind of like
stuff.
sketchy line shading
Yeah, the line
it
shading, yeah.
is a style to it that benefits it, even in 3D.
But they don't always do that. Like, based on the PV, they only do that in, like, the dark fight scenes in the forest. And then,
or like the serious action shots.
Yeah, but when you see, for example, the little girl character, she looks really bad in the PV. Have you seen her?
I don't remember the one you're talking about, but I
girl
can
in the
believe
pink
it.
dress?
Oh, right, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Rough, man.
Also, okay, here's a weird thing. So the team working on it,
Oh, yeah.
has never worked on it before.
Yeah.
This is their first thing. But also, as the, like, series director, we have the genius behind, TQ.
Yeah. I mean, natural progression right there.
I don't know what happened to get him in that slot, but if TQ is making him popular, all the better for him.
I mean, this show looks like it has about the same amount of animation in it.
If it were animated like TQ, I'd be much happier.
I think, honestly, I would rather see a Berserk animated like TQ than this.
But, like, no different in the story.
Yeah.
Story, action, blood, gore, all the same, but they're animated like they're on popsicle
And the
sticks.
same style, like the proper Berserk style, but yeah, just animated at a very limited animation. And that's sort of what the original anime was already. So.
Is that Naked Fairy? I'm looking through the PV again.
Yeah. It's just...
This whole thing definitely looks edgy.
Yeah, the first arc of Berserk is ridiculously edgy. And, you know, I like Berserk and I want it to succeed. And at best, this won't be as bad as it looks right now. And at worst, I'll get, like, a goofy, fun, bad-looking 3D anime of a bad story arc out of it.
To just kind of, like, goof on.
Yeah, to laugh at.
And Crunchyroll has, like, a big deal going with it, so if nothing else, you'll be able to watch it.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. They're on a roll.
Huh. Speaking of rolls, you know what else rolls?
What?
A Hanabono log.
Oh, does it?
Well, a log does.
Yeah, but is it that kind of log? Maybe it's like a
No.
captain's log. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's more like that. So this is a weird thing. Okay, so it's already aired.
Yeah.
First off, this is already aired, but I don't know. It's something that I would like to look into, but I don't think it will be possible to.
Yeah.
Because everything's already aired, and I've never seen anything online even hinting at the ability to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's just it's a series of 2-minute shorts based on an illustration book that is supposed to be like kind of slices in time of like couples and families who just live together, and I think that would be charming.
Yeah, and I like
and
the
it'd be
art
short
style
enough.
a lot.
Yeah, the art style looks really nice, and it's short enough that like you can just tell a very small, quaint story, which I feel like is what it's going for.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it just looks like it would be impossible for me to watch. If it exists in any form at some point, I'll totally watch it.
Me too.
But it just, I don't know.
It doesn't look like we'll be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be looking, I'll be scouring, I'll be calling all my, interns.
Keep watching this
And be
guy.
like, hey, yeah, have you been looking into this? You know what's going on? But yeah, probably it won't be.
Damn. All right. It's time for the start of the lightning round.
That's right. That's where we start talking about things real quick. Except for the things I have things to talk about.
No. You can't.
That's not many of them.
Okay. Well, you can if you want
So, this is the maybe, maybe not. This is our C tier.
Why did you put something... You can't put something you're going to watch in the C tier.
I absolutely can.
Yeah, that's against the rules.
I absolutely can.
Christ.
And I put Show by Rock Short in there.
Okay.
Show by Rock was alright. It had a weird thing at the end where it added a weird plot.
How dare they?
I started adding plot, and that was the problem.
Uh-huh.
But the music is pretty good. Like, having heard more of the stuff from, like, the game and stuff.
Yeah.
They just hire bands to do their music.
That's always a good way to go about it.
They have 15, like, different bands that all do music for them, and that's cool. The shorts are basically just like highlights of a bunch of bands, and presumably not the ones that they've already shown in the original series.
Are they gonna do the same 3D thing again?
Maybe. I think they're doing some of the 3D, like, just for the performances, and they'll draw the characters out like they did in the anime.
Yeah.
But, like, Season 2 got pushed back indefinitely, and this is, like, just a way to be like, hey, check out all the bands that are in our group. So if it's just that, I'm pretty cool with it. Like, that's an easy watch.
Okay.
And that's basically it. So, well, assuming Funny picks it up, that they might not.
Yeah.
So next up, Tales of Hysteria, the X.
Tales of Hysteria, the X is an anime adaptation of the most recent Tales of game. Which it's been a pretty common thing that they've done Tales of anime. Yeah. Tales of Hysteria is not very good. The gameplay...
I hear it's kind of the messiest story.
Yes, because it doesn't...
Like, very obviously they pushed this out early for their 10th anniversary thing, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, because it came out way before that. I don't know. But either way, it's just, 15th, I think, actually. No,
but it was one of their anniversary things.
Yeah. And it was just... The story was really rough. It was very meandering. You play as basically the shepherd to, like, in the metaphorical sense, to a whole group of people. And you don't find out what you're supposed to shepherd them to, or what you're supposed to protect them from, until about halfway into the game. But the characters were okay. And if a lot of... And Ufotable always puts out really good-looking stuff. Really detailed-looking stuff, especially.
Yeah, Ufotable is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I think if maybe with an anime they can fix those problems with the story.
Yeah, but I'm not particularly intent on finding out. So unless I drop a lot of my other stuff, or I hear good things about this, I probably won't be watching it. But there's always a chance. And I want Tales of Hysteria to be good in some form. And maybe this will be it. Yeah,
I'm trying to think, like, we haven't had a proper anime adaptation since Abyss?
The movie for Vesperia, I guess.
The movie for Vesperia was a prequel, though, or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it wasn't actually the story. It's maybe been Symphonia since then? Because Abyss came after that, or before that, right?
They were both on the same console, so I don't know.
It's been a while, though.
Yeah, it's been not since the GameCube era
that we've seen a proper version. So maybe if this is it, maybe they've found a way to make this story better.
Maybe they found a way to make it worthwhile. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we won't get all the cool customization stuff. We can't just shove sunglasses on every character.
Yeah, and we can't give them all weird buzz cuts.
Or overly large cowboy hats. But you know what? Maybe the story will be alright regardless.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Next up.
Oh, this is another one for me.
Nejimaki Seirei Senki.
Why'd you put the Japanese name on here? I specifically gave you the
Tenkyo
English
no
name.
Aldermane.
So, Skies of Alderman.
Yeah, but this is... Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
This is Madhouse's thing this season.
Yeah, and unfortunately they're doing some light novel trash.
I don't even know if it doesn't look trashy, is the thing?
No, I meant...
It looks bland.
Yeah, I just meant it looked bad.
Oh, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said light novel garbage.
Yeah, it just looks bland.
Yeah, it does. The thing is, like, I'm such a lame Madhouse fanboy, which I shouldn't be because studios don't really exist anymore. But I just...
Madhouse still exists.
Sort of.
KyoAni still exists.
Yeah, well, Madhouse is a lot less than KyoAni.
Yeah, I think, in a way.
But they put out good stuff so often that I always want to give them a shot. And I think of all the, like, crappy, like, superpower high school setting shows there are, Irregular at Magic High School is probably my favorite one. So they can make this stuff work to a degree. So I don't know. It's just I just always want to give Madhouse some credit, and maybe I'll watch an episode or I'll hear something good about it.
Because it looks all right. It definitely looks all right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's one that I personally wouldn't put any money on. I'll wait for Madhouse's thing next season.
No.
But yeah, so that's that.
That is that.
It's like Sky Pirates or something.
Yeah. But with more of a military edge to it.
Like a genuine military edge, which might be its thing. Next up, Danganronpa 3, both parts.
Yeah.
I put it up this way because, like, maybe if someone just, like, tells me how the story ends, I'll just, like, listen to them. Like, it's a story that needs a conclusion.
Are the two Danganronpas that, like, tied together so much?
Okay, so there's Danganronpa 1.
Yeah.
Which is the game, and they got the anime based off of
Right.
it. This is equivalently the anime version of Danganronpa 2, and a sequel to both of those.
Okay, so none of it is the story of Danganronpa 3.
So, no, Danganronpa 3, the game, is not Danganronpa 3, the video game.
What is this, Kingdom Hearts? How am I supposed to keep up with all this?
Danganronpa 3, the game, is entirely divorced. It has absolutely nothing to do with that story. It's just, I think, a way to milk out the rest of that franchise.
Right.
So what they're doing is, on 2 separate days of the week, they're airing the story of Danganronpa 2 in an anime.
Uh-huh.
And the sequel ending to Danganronpa 1 and 2 as its own anime. So it's got 2 shows going on simultaneously.
This is like when they were putting out Final Fantasy 13 and Versus 13 at the same time. But if one of those had been a sequel to... Man.
And also if one of those has come out.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing, and I honestly, like... Danganronpa has gotten so, like, weird, and I didn't really like the way the second one came together.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, maybe I'll just have someone else tell me what happened.
Okay.
It's a weird series.
Weird. It is.
And I feel like it lost a lot of its charm as it became like, oh, we have to write more of this.
I say it every time. Oren Ronan, what have you wrought?
Next up. Oh, wait, did you say you were watching this?
Oh, hold on.
Did I mistakenly put this on the wrong bit?
Yes, I did say I was watching this. Oops.
Sorry, I made a mistake going through this. So, this is one Jordan's watching and should be higher up on the list.
Yeah. It
is
Hitorino Shita, the Outcast. It's a story about a guy, there's zombies in it. It honestly doesn't sound that great, but I'm not particularly interested in it. But the reason I want to watch it is because it's based on a manhwa.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about it. Yeah. I don't want to watch it either, but it is a manhwa thing, and the studio doing it, I think, is literally just, it's like some kind of Chinese-Japanese, combo.
Okay.
That have only done, like, manhwa stuff. Like, they did, Chufang B last year, which is also a manhwa thing.
Yeah.
I really hate that the Korean comic and Chinese comic words are basically the same.
Yeah, it's difficult.
But we mean Chinese manhwa.
Yeah. And it's just like, adaptations of Chinese comic books come out very rarely. And
I think the only really big note one is, Noblesse.
Yeah.
Which came out, earlier this year or late last year from Production IG, and it was a single episode thing.
Yeah. And this is kind of the first time that I've watched anime as it comes out, that one of these is coming out. So I want to watch it most just as a modern curiosity more than anything else. But I think the art looks okay and the premise seems alright enough. So, we'll just see what it's like.
I feel like with manhwa, they play to a particular type.
Yeah. They
are all sort of this story.
Yeah, and they're all usually very exaggerated. They remind me of Bollywood movies almost, in that they can never relax. They have no chill, if you will.
Yeah, so if this is the one they decided to adapt, maybe it is one of the better of this type.
Maybe so.
So I think that's the big curiosity.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the manhwa, both Chinese and Korean, will read like this does. Very heavy edge, magical realism.
Have you ever read Jack Frost?
No.
It was, I think it's Korean. It was published by Dark Horse, and I think it's one of the few non-manga Asian things they've ever published. So you'd think it would be like that good stuff, but it's actually really bad. That's all I had to say about that. Jack Frost is not good.
So basically we're looking into this.
Yeah.
It's a curiosity. I'm not going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
So I'll let you tell me what's up.
I mean, I know a lot of people out there are tired of zombies. But I can always go for a good zombie thing.
You can do zombies well still.
Yeah.
It's just easy to phone it in.
Yeah, it is. A lot of it is just either tired or just doesn't come at it from an interesting angle. I don't even think that's necessary. It's just there's something about zombies that just attracts bad creators.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe because it's an easy, like, dramatic, edgy sort of thing.
Yeah, that could be. Or it's just an easy target, so maybe because it's such a common thing, it is a lot of bad visionaries' first idea that they go to. Maybe. I don't know.
Because it's such a zeitgeist sort of
thing.
thing.
Exactly. But either way, high hopes.
Yeah. So back to things we're not interested in.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's a maybe, maybe not sort of thing.
Okay.
The second season of Arslan Senki.
This is just you, right, that put this on the maybe?
I just put this on the maybe because I guess the more I've learned about it, the more I've been sort of intrigued by it. Like the fact that it's like a Persian epic made into an anime. Like I didn't know that before. I thought it was just like a very kind of rote fantasy, but I didn't know it was such like a long-standing sort of thing.
It's been around for a long time. I was actually surprised when they put out
hadn't realized.
That video game earlier this year.
Well, because they made that new anime version of it. Because this came out, I think the original anime came out in like 96?
Yeah, it's old.
Like the 90s?
Yeah.
And then they made this reboot sort of thing, and they have the second season, which is only going to be like half a season, really?
Oh.
But might actually finish the story, but it was just something that's like, if I don't have anything else to watch, I might look into it just because it was such a curiosity.
I've read all of Arslan Senki, and it's pretty good, but I don't...
Is it pretty good?
Yeah, but I don't like it enough to go through it again, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a sort of thing, is like, I haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I think you'll probably have a good time.
But Arslan Senki just has become one of those things like, oh, I didn't know it was based on this thing, and it's like, huh.
It's almost like something you have to watch.
Is it one of those, like, pillars, I guess?
It is a little bit, yeah. If only just for how like old it is at this point, even though it's still relevant.
Okay, huh. I'll at some point I'll have to look into it then.
Yeah.
So next up on this list, we have Studi Piero's attempt to reach the boy idol market.
Yeah.
This is Sukiura, the animation.
I'll watch any good boy idol show.
Are you gonna watch it?
If it's good, if I like hear people say, "Wow, this one really rose above the pack," then yeah.
So here's the thing about it. It's based on a series of drama CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And has two versions.
Yeah.
There's the male version, which is being animated, and the female, which is not.
What is this? Near?
And it's like, apparently it's just like, it's an idol group versus a different idol group in their, like, school, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever equivalent. It's not really a school, but it's like, it's Eastern Japan versus Western Japan.
It is as close to a school as they need to get to give it a school setting.
Right. And it's weird because the male version is, like, the least interesting based on the description.
Uh-huh.
Like, the female one is set, like, in space.
I mean, shit.
And it's about using music to guide spiritual energy as goddesses, and then the male one is just like, it's modern Japan.
Oh, okay.
So, it's weird, but also, like, this is just, I think, the male version that they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's boy idol stuff. Maybe it'll be good, maybe not.
Maybe, yeah.
Boy idol stuff, I reserve judgment more than, like, female idol stuff, because it's a less... Profitable is not the right word, but the market is definitely not as much there, I feel.
Yeah, definitely not.
I think, speaking of that, we might as well go into the next one, even if it's not the next on the list. Oh, it is! B Project. Kodo Ambitious. Which is about a lady who gets hired on by an A&R department of a record company and suddenly has to handle 3 idol groups.
Whoa, wait a minute. I think this might have been the one that I put on my maybe list, actually.
Okay. It feels very, like, they seem like they're smaller units, but also it feels very Udapri in its style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the character designs and everything feels very Udapri.
Look at the long arms on that guy at the front of the key art.
And also it's done by A1.
Yeah.
So this is A1's attempt into the market, because I don't think they've done another one, have they?
No, I guess.
They didn't do Udapri, did they?
What was the one where they were all wearing plaid pants?
That hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
That's, Ensemble Stars.
Okay.
That might be A1 too. But this is a new thing, and it's an original project that just feels very, like, ripped straight from an otome. So yeah, like Udapuri.
Yeah.
Ladies surrounded by idols in different groups.
Yep.
Which, maybe.
Maybe. The same
Maybe.
thing, pretty much. 2 for 1.
Yeah. It's a 2-for-1 deal. Like, idols, there's lots of idols this season as well.
No kidding.
More so than I think has been in a while, even though it is, like, a thing.
Yeah.
Banana. I don't actually expect this to get picked up by anyone. If it is, I'll give it a curious glance.
Not me. The voice actor for the banana cat really gets my goat.
You don't like Yuki Kaji?
No, I think he's fine, but I don't think he's good for a cat banana. I think it should be a way cuter voice. It can't be this preening, kind of like pretty guy voice. But that's just
Eren Yeager's the best banana.
That's just my perception of that voice. That's how that voice appears to me. So I love the idea, and I think the art looks cute. But
I mean, with Crunchy is picking up as many like kid shows as it is, maybe it'll get picked up. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they've definitely been picking up these sort of like weird like shorts.
Yeah.
Designed for kids that you wouldn't expect to, make it to this market.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe they are just trying
Speaking of stuff for kids.
Yeah. Puzzles and Dragons Cross.
Puzzles and Dragons Cross.
Puzzles and Dragons is, as far as mobile games meant to drain your wallet go, pretty good. And
this is based on the 3DS version of the game, which has a proper story and anime thing to it.
And was packaged in with Super Mario. Puzzles and Dragons.
Was it?
Yeah. It was like a 2-pack.
Oh, that was the Puzzles and Dragons Z or whatever.
I think so. Or maybe this is a different one.
But it's based on a 3DS game.
Yeah.
Based on the mobile game Puzzles and Dragons, which is like a match 3 thing.
I think I like, I don't know what it is, but I still like silly kid shows meant to sell people stuff. Meant to sell people toys.
Yeah,
but I guess this time...
I really enjoy kid shows. Yeah, kid shows are great.
Yeah, kid shows are good. I just like the silly dramatics over like Beyblades or cards or little toys. Or in this case, I guess it's not like that in this case because they're not trying to sell you...
In this case, it's literal dragons.
Yeah, they're not trying to sell you actual stuff. They're just trying to get you to play the mobile game.
They're not playing Puzzles and Dragons.
Yeah, which is a bummer. I wish they would actually just play competitive match 3 or something.
Instead, they're feeding these orbs to their tiny dragon friends to make them fight.
Yeah.
So it's much more battle spirits, I guess.
I just need something to fill the void that Future Car Buddy Fight left. And maybe this will be it.
Okay. If someone picks it up, this seems like the sort of thing that Crunchyroll would absolutely pick up.
Yeah, but I think this is also the sort of thing that someone will fan sub. Like, there has to be someone out there who's knows Japanese and is so in love with Puzzles and Dragons.
We believe in legal watching.
That will always be our first avenue. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's Puzzles and Dragons Cross. Speaking of video games, new game. New games of 4-Koma about a girl who joins a game company.
She joins the game company, but they think she's a middle schooler because she looks short. And it's like, what? That's one joke.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the rest of the show?
I assume it's going to be a short series.
Yeah.
I don't think they've announced it, but it looks like it's going to be a shorts.
That makes sense. I put this on because I think this could be good, but it's one of those things where even if it's good, it probably won't be that good, and there's a good chance that it's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually want to watch it, but I am interested in it a little bit.
Okay.
So that's why.
Because I don't think they've done much in terms of game dev as like a thing.
Yeah.
They don't do a lot of dev stuff in general. Like Shirobako was kind of the opening to that in a big way.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is like games in like a traditional sense or more like visual novels, but
I don't know. She's a 3D artist.
Yeah,
so
there's 3D stuff
novels.
in visual novels. Yeah, who knows? Maybe.
But either way,
that's
a new game. Last one on this list. I think you put it up this high.
I did.
Cute Earth High School Defense Love 2.
It's just called it's just a second love.
Yeah, it's just love.
Yeah. It's
Just tell me why you put this up high enough, because I was just putting it down notch.
because I still want to like this. I still want this to be good, and maybe this new season they'll finally actually do something with the concept.
Yeah, now that they've gotten, I guess, the like, setup out of the way.
They got the setup out of the way a lot.
And so it's like, I mean, yeah, it's by the Gintama writer, and he's pretty consistently funny.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd hope that this would also be, maybe second season will be better.
I have faith in the Sailor Moon boys.
Yep.
Being actually good this time.
Here's hoping. Not so much that koala, but the rest of the guys. The boys.
Alright.
Now it's the not interested. Let's try to go even faster.
Alright. Gotta go fast.
I don't think I have as much to say about these.
No. I have a lot to say about this first one because the premise blows.
Yeah, I was really excited about it until I read the premise.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Because, like, the art's good, I like studio feel and everything, and then it's like, oh, this is the art club has a problem.
Yeah.
Or its Japanese name, which I don't want to read. It's about an art club that, like, only one person in there actually wants to art, which is like, that's fine. They have goofy antics. Love that.
Yeah.
Love those goofy antics. But the main dude is really good at drawing, but basically only wants to draw waifus.
Yeah.
And specifically his waifus. And it's like, as soon as I read that, I was like, that's a 60 to 0 sort of moment.
Thing. Yeah.
I crashed through the windshield from that.
Yeah.
Because the other characters are like, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, if it's that, and also they're gonna play up romance in it, it's like,
And if that's gonna be like your big centerpiece, because it even is in this key art we're looking at. If the key centerpiece is this
and
guy,
also in the PV, it shows at least 3 shots of him like lovingly handcrafting his waifu or whatever.
Yeah, like if that's your A1, not as in the anime, but as in if that's your best
the
joke,
steak sauce.
Yeah. Then that's not good. That is not a good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a shame.
Next up. Saiki Kuso no... What symbol is that?
It's Psy. Psy.
Psy?
Yeah.
Psy-non? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't remember which one it was. But, this one is like, this guy has, telepathy and telekinesis, and basically, it just gets in the way of his normal life.
I'm surprised this is getting
And,
an
like,
anime now, because I think the manga for this runs in one of Jump's magazines, or used to, but I think it's done.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, it does not look good.
No.
PV does not look good. It seems like the humor is very much, like, wacky in the worst way.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And there's also a part of this where, like, there's just, like, a snake dangling from someone's wiener, so... You know what? Maybe not.
This is
he's got pants on, but it's like, it's very obvious that, like,
that's the joke.
It's supposed to be a weenie joke.
I only know about this show, or knew about it in advance, because one of the characters is in Jump Ultimate Star, or J-Star's Victory Versus, which is one of those...
Oh, is it the main guy?
Huh?
Or is it
yeah.
the guy with the butt chin?
No, it's the guy with the pink hair. He's in it.
Okay. Well, that's over with.
Yep.
Next up is, 7 Deadly Sins 2?
Yep.
7 Deadly Sins is a Netflix exclusive, I believe.
Oh.
Which already hurts it, and that explains why no one's seen it.
That's one Deadly Sin, alright.
Damn. And then this one's just like it's like a 4 episode thing, like it's just an original story for anime.
Yeah.
I like the 7 Deadly Sins art style.
Okay.
To an extent, but it's just like, I don't know, it feels very classically shonen in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, that is a really good way to put it. Yeah, it doesn't stand out in any way at all.
And it seems very heavy in sort of that 90s fan service and like very goofy action sort of way.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I like the style. Like the art style.
I don't much like that either. So
there's that pig. That pig's pretty cool.
There is a good pig in there.
There are things I like about it, but none of them are the parts that would make me want to watch an anime.
Yeah. It's really popular in Japan, apparently. Like, it
like, really big?
Yeah,
huh?
We're talking like top 5. Or it was for a while, at least.
Huh, dang.
For manga sales, that is.
Okay.
But yeah.
Next up. Real Life. This is the one you were thinking of earlier.
This is the one I was, yeah.
Real Life is about a dude who's basically like, he's down in the dumps. He's basically like a nobody. He has no friends. He has no job. His parents are basically funding him to live in like America or like another country.
Yeah.
And so he is asked to join a rehabilitation program for basically people like him, like hermits, called Relife, which is a drug that makes you look younger, and then he goes back to high school to try to fix his mistakes.
Sounds lame. Next.
Here's the thing.
No.
I want to say one thing about it.
No, you can't. It's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
That's not... There is a version of this premise that isn't shitty.
Okay.
But the fact that it's a drug that only makes you look younger and you're still like a 27-year-old creeping on high schoolers is the real issue.
Yeah, that is weirdly specific.
Like, the time travel variant of that, in the same way that made the like child romance segments of Erased not weird.
Yeah.
Is the version that's acceptable of that, and this is the creepy version of it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Like I said,
Taboo Tattoo.
Also sounds bad. Next.
This is by Is this by a popular author? I feel like I've heard this name more than once.
I have no idea. I just read the premise and was like, this sounds
give me
like...
1 second.
Okay.
It's just about like magic middle schoolers, right?
Yep.
And he gets like a tattoo that makes him magic
and then
or something.
A lady shows up.
Right, and she's hot.
Yep.
No, I was wrong. It's not by anyone important. It's by someone who did art for Fate Zero.
Oh.
That's it. Okay. I could have sworn I heard about this somewhere else, but I might be mistaken.
Maybe
I was just thinking, JC staff, they do the things I like sometimes. And not actually thinking of the author. But yeah, so whatever.
Whatever.
There's an arms race between America and some Middle Eastern country, and he's got a tattoo to fight it. Anyway, Cordelia Code.
Cordelia Code. This has got some okay art, actually.
Cordelia Code feels like A1's answer to Cabaneri existing.
Yeah.
Because it is an original anime that basically has the same setup.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Except it's like...
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not that popular, is it?
Cabaneri?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mega popular.
Yeah, okay, I guess, but it's not... It hasn't been around long enough for it to be established.
Yeah, but I guess this is also but in the same way this is that was Attack on Titan, this is Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Because child soldiers get put into cryo sleep and wake up and they have to fight supernatural forces to stop them from getting inside a city.
Man, getting to the not interested part of this podcast always just makes me want to die.
So that's Cordelia Code.
Yeah, it makes me want to die. Why'd you boost this up to not interested? You know the rules. If it's in the garbage tier, that's where it stays.
Wait, oh right. I think you're putting way too much into this.
Survamp hate sucks.
I think you're putting way too much into the Survamp hate, but I'll put
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I overreacted a little.
Okay, so. Next up is Survamp.
Yep.
Survamp just looks like the kind of, like, shoujo battle series you'd see in the 90s. And that's not interesting, I guess.
No, and it's also not edgy, but...
Because you know anything about it.
Yeah, because I read it.
Oh, okay.
It's like... Imagine if Twilight was an anime. And that's basically what it is. It's not the same story, but it has that same...
Okay,
it has a similar sense to it.
Okay. Yeah, it reads like a Black Butler battle manga, sort of.
A little bit.
Because it's like he has to fight vampires, but he's got a servant vampire who's also a cat guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that art style is very vindictive, or indicative of a time and place.
It looks like when you think gross shoujo, that's what Survamp looks like.
Just art style wise?
Yeah, it looks like every single It looks like Wolf Girl and the Black Prince. It looks like what was the one vampire one that was bad? Blood something? Bloody Lovers?
Blood Sea?
No, it was last season.
I don't know
I
what
think.
you're talking about.
I don't know, but the point is, it's bad.
It looks like, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Art style-wise is Reborn.
No, does it?
In the main character, I think that it's more pronounced.
Yeah, okay.
But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, the main character does look a bit like Reborn.
But it feels like it comes from that same genre in a way.
Yeah, maybe.
Just maybe a little more dark. Or at least serious.
I'm just mad because there was a time where I was really into this.
Oh.
And that time's passed.
Where's this next one? Oh, I should have ordered these.
Good job.
Angevirge, some portals open up in Japan, and some teenage girls get superpowers and fight. It's a card game.
Oh, is it?
It's based on a card game.
Oh, based
on a card game. It is not actually a card
Okay.
game.
I'm sorry, I got a little excited for a second.
Yeah, I know. I read that it's based on a card game, I'm like, but no. Thanks to Silverlink for putting out another thing I won't watch.
Appreciate it every time.
Alright, so anyways, that's over with.
Yep.
Next up, Regalia, the Three Sacred Stars. It's like Mecha.
It is like Mecha.
It's like Mecha, and there are some girls driving them, and it just doesn't look that good, is really the big thing. Like, I'm not big into Mecha regardless, but also this one in particular just doesn't look like it stands out in any way, good or bad.
Didn't this have a different key art at some point? Oh no,
Maybe.
wait, there's just another anime with basically the same premise going on right now.
Yeah. But it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Agreed.
And then, next up, speaking of whatever, Scared Writers Sex.
Oh.
Is it supposed to be scared, or is it supposed to be sacred, or is it supposed to be scarred?
I think
Scared Writers Sex sounds bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Scared Writers X because that sounds great, in my opinion.
The alien invader is named Nightfly Oh Note. That's good.
Yep.
Oh, the barrier around their world is called Scared. Okay. It's about it's like an Otome game. It is literally an Otome game.
About the band,
where
the
you
members
are a girl
of the musical
who
band Odd Eyes.
Trains some fucking group of 6 dudes to pilot mech suits or something.
Yep.
Whatever. The art style is so bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. I agree.
Like, everyone says, like, Otome games have a type, and this is like that type, but on a budget.
Yeah. Except everybody has weird Lupin the Third feet.
Lupe Fiasco feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have goofy feet. Whatever. Sacred Writer Zex.
Yeah.
Next up, Fudanshi Koko Seikatsu. It's about a guy who really likes boys' love.
That's just one of those things that's good for one joke.
Thank goodness this is a 5-minute short, but how many are there gonna be? But yeah, so that's that.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Dude likes boys' love.
Well,
And I guess meets a girl. And another guy.
This next one
Osmafia.
I love this one.
Osmafia. Okay, so here's the thing. As soon as it was announced that it was a short version of it, I was less interested because the story is a stupid sort of like charming that I would like at least look into. But you wanted to point out.
Yeah, okay, so check this out. I'm just gonna read the description straight on.
The whole thing.
Yeah, well, the first part. Fuka is a girl who has lost her memories. While wandering the unfamiliar town she finds herself in, she realizes that she is being chased by someone. One of the mafia syndicates in town called the Oz family, saves her after she runs away in fear. In this town, where friendship and conflict are two sides of the same coin, whose hand will Fuka take, and why does she have no memories? Is the story of the original Oz Mafia, but since it doesn't fit into this format, it's been turned into a school story. And I love that.
Fucking rules!
That sounds like a gag you start a gag anime off with. but it's real.
So Oz Mafia is the Wizard of Oz as an Otome game, but every faction is actually a mafia family.
Uh-huh.
And they've just written that as, now they're in school, I guess.
Good.
And I don't think they even have the girl in it. I think it's just the dudes. They think they wrote out the female insert
But then how can it be a harem if there's no sultan,
I don't know.
so to speak?
No. But it's like, she's not in the, like, mini description they give for the actual...
No.
I don't know, it's supposed to be an original story, and I guess it has no girls in it.
I kind of like the art style.
It's Otome, but in a charming way, yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish it were just the story of Oz Mafia, because that sounds dumb and fun, but it's this. I mean, that's funny, but I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Next up is the second season of Active Raid. Some people liked Active Raid.
Some people liked Active Raid a lot, which surprised me, because to me it just looked like it was going to be a super generic mech show.
Apparently it's more tokusatsu. It's definitely more like, your common writers, but they have mech suits.
Yeah.
And they're in the police, which, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
That's more of a premise than a lot of mech shows get.
Yeah. It's not my thing, but hey. Next up is Time Travel Girl. I'm not gonna read the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's based on a book. It looks like a magical girl sci-fi thing.
It's got a Stargate, I think. There's no preview for
The art
this.
doesn't
No
look that
description
great.
either.
No description, and, who the fuck is Wow World?
Yeah, Wow World.
Welcome to... they made Speed Grapher. I'm excited.
Oh. Great.
But yeah, it just doesn't... Oh, it's based on a book from the 80s, apparently. That's about it.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Oh, so it's a girl who goes through history and learns about scientific discoveries and inventions. Specifically, magnetism and electricity.
Oh, great. So she's gonna hang out with... Oh, wait, never mind.
Nikola Tesla, and they'll be like, oh, Tesla really was the real hero. Thomas Edison was a hack.
No. And then they're gonna be like, breed with your family, and that's gonna be his catchphrase. I don't know. something eugenics.
And then it turns into a tie-in with that dating sim where you date Tesla in the modern world.
Oh. Didn't you play that?
No.
Okay.
I'm playing a different terrible one about historical literary figures.
Alright, well, I'm glad you're having a good time.
Okay, so the last one on this list is Grappy and Rodeo second season. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
It looks like a variety show as an anime.
I love the name, so I hate that it doesn't look more interesting.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like a 2-minute variety sort of thing.
Yeah, by Pie.
I realized we skipped one, but it works well into this setting as well.
Yeah.
Which is Maho Shoujo Naria Girls. And the only reason I have any interest in this plaid-ass magical girl series that's like fourth wall breaking is because the studio who does it has literally only made anime where they just like basically just like hand a set of guidelines to the voice actresses and then just have them like freestyle and improv.
Apparently this is like that too, from what I understand.
Yeah, which is weird. So Studio Bouncy has literally just put out like 3 anime so far where it's just some voice actors like improv and shoot the shit and just talk about whatever with like a very loose guideline on what they say. And it's like, that's interesting conceptually, and I don't know if that would ever turn out good.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
I've seen one of the other ones, and it was okay, I guess.
Was that the Tessa Gure thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of other people like that.
Isn't part of that series they just like actually just talk about what it's like to voice act?
A little bit, yeah.
Like some of the spin-off ones are?
Yeah.
Man, what a weird studio that has basically done just this exclusively.
I mean, hey, it's a concept.
And also a Transformers anime.
Oh. Well, sometimes you just gotta get those checks.
Right. So now we're to the poo-poo garbage tier. These are the things that are objectively bad.
Yeah, first Servamp.
No,
I lied.
not Servamp. First up is Maso Gakuen HXH. It's the booby show of this season.
This is such a booby show. Like, holy cow.
This guy This guy rubs boobies to power up ladies in mech suits. That's it.
I'm surprised Crunchyroll hasn't lined up to get this one yet, because it seems...
You mean funny?
No. Well, either,
This could be a
really.
funny show.
I'm surprised they're not fighting over this one. Or maybe they are, and that's why it
They
hasn't
might
been-
be.
Yeah,
In the background, they might be, like, at each other's throats to get this show.
maybe, yeah. And for good reason.
I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, but as far
I
as...
can't wait. Well, no matter who it is, the forums will be full of people mad that it's censored.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this premise is bad, and this anime is probably also bad.
I guess you could say it really rubs me the wrong way.
Damn, you're right, though.
I am. What's next?
Ugh. Anything else?
Yeah.
Hatsukoi Monster.
Shit, no, can we go back to the booby rub?
Hatsukoi Monster is about a high school girl who almost gets hit by a truck and is saved. And it turns out that her savior... So she falls head over heels over her savior. Turns out the savior's not only the child of her landlord in high school, but also is a 5th grader.
Yeah, which I basically refuse to believe based on this artwork. This is
I think... Yeah,
this is a faulty premise.
I knew that this was the premise, but didn't know which direction it went. I thought the lady was supposed to be the 5th grader.
Oh, yeah, that would make more sense.
And, I mean, it would literally, I think, be worse in that case.
Yeah, well...
But this is already deplorable.
It is, yeah.
I think the funny thing is that you would put this on some other part of the list because you hadn't read the description or whatever.
Yeah,
This is bad.
I didn't care to read all the way to the end because it's the very last thing on the description.
Yeah, the last thing is, it's the 5th grader.
Yeah.
Thanks, Studio Dean.
Yep. Thanks to Yen Press for bringing the manga to the West.
Oh, did they do that?
Well, at the bottom it says that the source for this all is Yen Press, so I would assume so.
Huh. Yin Press also brought over a lot of Yuri stuff recently, which is interesting, and like the good stuff, apparently.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not like the gross stuff.
Yeah.
Like the one based on that, what visual novel was it on Steam? Kindred Spirits on the Roof.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, like
That is
the
good
manga
stuff.
version of that. Yeah, so that's cool. Not cool. Fate Caliad Season 3.
Yeah, no, it's season 4, even though it's called 3 Rai.
I thought it was... No, because the other one was like a spin-off or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the 4th... yeah. It's like... It's the lolly variant of Fate.
I hate that you said that, but it's true.
But it's true!
It is true.
Look, it had to be said. Someone had to say it.
But it's also Yuri.
And it was me. Yeah, but not the good kind.
No, but the word escapes me right now. The exploitative
Pandering.
kind.
Yeah. Next, Momo Curry. I didn't have this on the poo-poo garbage, but I understand why you put it there.
I have it on the poo-poo garbage because at first, like, when I read it, I watched the preview first.
PV.
Yeah. And I was like, this looks okay, I might just watch it. And then I read the description, and I got about halfway down, and I was like, good enough. And then I got to the part where it's like, oh, this girl is literally...
She's literally his stalker.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's bad. Actually, don't do that. Have you considered not calling that a romance series?
So, okay. So, also, first of all, they look like they're in middle school. They look
do.
Mayuika.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem. You can romance whatever, but this is a very early teaching of like, oh, maybe stalking is okay, and it's not. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't stalk people.
Don't stalk people.
If you learn anything from this episode that isn't about anime, don't stalk people.
Yep.
Also, South Park isn't an anime.
Yeah.
Also learn that from this episode.
Those are equally important lessons that will take you far in life.
It's true. So that's Momo Curry. Here's the thing. It already got web broadcast. This is the TV version now.
Oh.
Like, they literally already made this anime, and now they're just gonna put it on TV.
Well, that's a shame.
Like, you gotta do something with that time slot.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing, too. This reads like the sort of thing that shouldn't have 13 episodes of 24 minutes.
Yeah, maybe it's a subversion.
There are definitely premises that read like shorts. That reads like a short.
That reads like a short, yeah. Maybe they try to, like, take it and actually play it as at face value and show that this is bad, and maybe she'll be better
Nope.
at the end. No?
They don't do that. Next up, Shokugeki no Soma, Season 2.
Yeah. You know how much I hate this
I hear
show.
the fan service cut down, after the first couple episodes. Like, it's a really bad opening, but I don't trust that.
Yeah. Even beyond that, I hate the series from a conceptual standpoint, because it is a manga, it's based on a manga, but it takes my least favorite light novel structure, which is main character who is already amazing at everything he wants to do, but is put into a situation... Goes to school and is put into a situation where, for whatever reason, usually these reasons don't make sense, he has to prove himself. So even though he is a baller, he is the best, he still gets to play the underdog role at the same time, and I hate that. That is hack writing.
It should have been Iron Chef Yakitate Japan combo.
Yeah.
That's what it reads like, and it should have been that, and it's not.
Food Wars is just bad. Get it out of here.
Why couldn't it have been the exact thing I just said?
Yeah, I would like that more. Why can't we just get more Yakitate Japan?
Why can't we get the Yakitate Japan guy to write legitimate like Iron Chef
Is
series?
Is he even doing anything anymore?
Bread?
I think he might be dead, actually.
Oh wait, seriously?
Maybe.
Oh shit. I may have to cut this whole segment out.
Oh no, let's find out.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up because I'm gonna feel bad now. I'm like, what is that guy doing?
He's still alive. He's making a show called King of Neat, so he can also go to hell.
What? Like neat, like not in employment, education, or training?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see that.
That is according to...
Oh, there it is. The King of Neat. I found it. Neat. Oh, it's a sequel to another thing he did. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's finished too. That's over.
So I guess he died artistically.
He had Yakitate Japan in him.
And Super Yo-Yo.
And that Super Yo-Yo show.
That was pretty good.
Oh, well.
Anyway, let's talk about the fart anime.
This is not poo-poo garbage because it's literally poo-poo.
Yeah.
It's a show about a literal, like, talking fart that helps solve problems. Goru is the most admirable of farts.
Yeah, what a great fart.
It doesn't look good.
No,
let's put that out there right now. The animation is really bad.
Yeah. The art
style is disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm watching the PV to count the 10 seconds of this kid shoving his fingers into a guy's butthole to get this fart out. Literally, like, 10 seconds of him, and then he talks to this fart. It's just a fart man.
This sounds like the worst Bubba Bo spin-off of all time.
It just looks so gross and bad, and not like, oh, it's gross because it's a fart. Gross as in, like, the art style is really bad. This is juvenile and terrible.
Why do we have to end it on the fart anime?
Because, you know what? It made us laugh.
Yeah. Rene Season 2 is happening too. I hear that's pretty good. Not really my thing, though.
What is?
Rene Season 2.
Rene?
Yeah, Rene. RIN-NE.
Oh! Yeah, I think that might be continuing on. I'm pretty sure it started last season.
Oh, is that right? Well,
yeah, and that's just Rene's just the Ranma one-half person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this, like, I'm glad that she gets to just keep making basically the same style of story.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty good at it, and, like, just it being modernized, like, in terms of quality, is nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I think I talked about this with FutureFriend last time, but, like, the fact that these sort of, like, throwback sort of shows, or, like, even old shows that get new adaptations, like, what's just finishing up? Ushio and Tora.
Uh-huh.
Like, the fact that that gets to exist and be finished and in a modern sensibility is, like, nice.
Yeah. And Hunter x Hunter,
I think
too.
it's charming. Yeah. I mean, that's on hiatus again. But...
Yeah. The anime finished.
Has anyone taken, like, figures to figure out whether or not that has been on hiatus longer than Berserk has?
It has been, relatively speaking, it has been on hiatus more. Okay. But I think because Berserk has been running way longer, it has been on hiatus.
Probably, in terms of numbers, it's probably. Yes. Okay. Well, that's all the anime next season.
Yep.
Poof. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And we're excited for some of it, even the stuff we're not watching.
Yeah. Not excited for the fart anime, though.
Right. Anyways. I think this season... I mean, like all seasons, I'd say that this one has a lot of potential. I don't think it has as many, like, immediate standouts.
Yeah, I don't know how much potential this one has, because it feels like there's a lot of anime that could be good, but I don't feel like there's any anime that is going to be great.
Maybe.
But it can't always be
definitely,
like that.
definitely in terms of, like, things that excel, maybe we won't see that.
Yeah.
But I think there are enough shows here that we could have a solid lineup.
Yeah, totally. And I mean,
And I think I say this every season, but it's like, this one, more so than others, there's nothing exactly standout.
Yeah. Well, the fart anime stands out.
Yeah, but it's like, nothing at the top of the very interested list, I think, is something where we're like, oh, absolutely, this is going to be good.
Yeah, no, none of that.
It's just, this shows a significant potential.
Yeah. So it's like a gamble. It's like a Russian roulette, but instead of with bullets.
But not Russian.
Yeah,
it's Japanese.
It's Japanese roulette, and instead of bullets, it's just bad anime. And
Right.
it's like five.
It can happen anywhere.
And 5 of the chambers are loaded, and one of them is empty instead of the other way around.
It could happen to you. You could find a bad anime.
Yeah, be careful out there, kids.
Careful, they're everywhere.
Don't step into the van if the man tells you that he has anime in the back.
Right. Well, have him tell you what anime first.
If he tells you...
If he says Dendride, maybe don't.
If he tells you Death Parade, then he's good people.
If he says Bakuan, run.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Speaking of going, it's about time for us to go.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we're going to watch Hikari no Go.
Well, we could do that too. Do you want to record that? I mean, we could record that as a bonus episode, just us watching it and reacting occasionally.
Well, there's not much to react to that show, so it would just be silence. Occasional, like, opening up a bottle to drink.
Do you want to do anything before we go? Like, just say, oh, this is what I'm considering top contender for the best anime this season or anything?
Chiodanshi is what I want to be good the most.
Okay.
And that is as close to a top anime as you're going to get.
Alright.
From me this season. What about you?
In terms of things where I'm going in and just being like, I really hope this is good, I think all the sports. I think this is a good season for sports.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all 3 of these series are handling it in a very different way.
Yeah, definitely.
So my hope is that out of those 3, at least 2 of them are good.
I hope so too. Yeah.
Other than that, it's like, I want this to be the season where more of the premises where I go, that seems cool, at least deliver. Yeah. Even if I don't finish watching them, I want them to deliver on it rather than failing to live up to a premise that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Like Orange, for example.
Just want anime
Orange
to
as a
be better.
premise is so open-ended.
Yeah.
That it could go anywhere, but I want it to live up to a premise of some, a slight mystery going on while also dealing with the school stuff.
Because
it's
more
like,
often than not, anime that leaves its premise open from the beginning just doesn't stick the landing.
Right. And Orange is, I think, the biggest case of that in this.
And hopefully this season's... Yeah, Mairika. But hopefully this season will be different.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the hope, is that we hope that something different happens.
Yeah, the hope is always that anime is going to finally be good.
I mean, it is good.
Yeah, but could be better.
If it gets better.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe Grappy and Rodeo will come to the West and we'll understand
it's gonna change
why
anime.
It's important that this comes over.
Yeah. So,
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yep.
Yeah. Better than good. I've been ChorpSaway.
And I've been Jordan.
And this episode is in honor of FutureFriend, who's spending the rest of his life in a Spanish prison.
Rest in peace. Eventually.
Next time, we'll talk about the spring season. We'll review it.
Yeah.
Like on some sort of a review show.
Yeah, we're gonna view it again.
Yeah, we'll talk about what we stuck with, what we didn't, the things that captured us, and the things that pushed us right the fuck away.
The things that captured FutureFriend was the police.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.